guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you're new here, simply welcome. My name is Angel, aka the Angelic Muse, and I am back here, as you can see, with another pick a card. From the title, as you can see, this is based on how your person views the connection. This can be more, I'm going to leave it open, I'll say that. I'm going to leave it open to familial, platonic connections, and romantic, obviously. Depending on who it is that you're asking about, take what resonates and leave what does not. These are general readings. But yeah, I am an intuitive tarot reader. I am a certified Reiki practitioner. You can book a personal session with me over on my website at www.theangelicmuse.com. All my links and everything will be down below if you want to connect with me on Instagram as well. But getting into these piles here, we have 3 piles to choose from. So what I did was I pulled a major arcana for each theme of the connection. So like it's like the overarching theme. You won't see any other major arcana throughout the spread that I pulled. I separated them. But there's that, and then there are also going to be lessons as well as lessons, and then the tarot to go along and explain just how your person is feeling when it comes to this connection or anything that they may be going through or that I pick up as well. But without further ado, let me get into these piles here. So we have the first pile, which is the red jasper, the raw red jasper crystal. And then we have the tiger's eye crystal, raw tiger's eye crystal. And then the raw blue calcite crystal. Don't mind my nail, y'all. I don't know how I messed up this one. All my other ones are freaking, oh, well, this one's not, but they're damn near fine. Like, I don't know how I did it. But anyway, it's done. Anyway, yes, we have 3 piles to choose from, and you can go ahead and pause. I tried to put them on the camera, so if you want to pause and meditate on them, you can do that now, or you can just go ahead and pick, and I will see you down at your timestamps. Hey, pile 1. So if you chose this raw red jasper here, this is your reading. So I'm going to start out with the theme of the connection as well as the oracle that I pulled for you all. So the theme you all have, the major arcana is the death card, which is represented by the number 13. And then you also have fork in the road, which is also represented, I'm sorry if the light doesn't show. There we go. Which is also represented by the number 13. And the death card in itself, well, it's interesting because a fork in the road is a metaphor for like making a decision on something and having like 2 ways to go, maybe 3 ways to go about it, and not knowing which way to choose. So I can see that the way your partner or whoever you're asking about views this connection is pretty powerful, is life-changing. And the thing about death is it's very uncomfortable. The death card it's inevitable, but it can be uncomfortable. And with it being here, with the fork in the road being here after the death card, it seems as if maybe whoever you're asking about is a little fearful or hesitant to maybe take the next steps with something, or they're still just not even hesitant, but they're just deciding. I'm going to read so fork in the road. I'm going to read that oracle card for you all. And it says, the essential meanings are time to make a decision, considering the consequences as you prepare to act, and owning up to your obligation to make a necessary choice. The oracle's message here is every choice has a consequence. You will arrive at a fork in the road and are being asked to come to a decision. Will you further your dreams by choosing left or by choosing right? Will you take the road less traveled or the one well worn by others who have come before you? This is your choice and yours alone to make. Circumstances and other people will not make it for you. Be present and do not avoid this junction, for it is an important crossroad. Take heart, as no matter which path you choose, you will have a rich and meaningful experience. So, yes, that just goes back to the death card. They kind of just play on each other. I feel like whoever you're asking about is just in this maybe I don't even know how to explain it. I mean, they're in a very transformational time, and they may be deciding that whether or not they want to take this next step with you, whether that be moving in together or marriage. Maybe that's changing something about themselves, or um, putting something away, like deciding, like, not putting something away in a sense, like literally, but like maybe they have a way to them and they're deciding whether or not it's beneficial to the connection, and they have to make this decision. Or if it is marriage, maybe you all have been together for a while and they're deciding, like, okay, it's make or break time. um Shoot, maybe even you are at a point where you are kind of throwing hints that you want to move forward, or whatever the case may be, and they're definitely considering it here, is what I am getting. Now, I do feel like there is some hesitancy, like I said, but as with anything new, that is um pretty, that's to be expected, I would think. No matter what type of connection you have, there is always going to be some dynamic that is changed. Even if you're together and you go for marriage, there are dynamics within the relationship that will inevitably change. Your relationship may not necessarily, but there's a lot to factor in when something as meaningful as marriage, if you believe in that, or if you not even believe in it, because it's not something to believe in. If you are interested in being married, it is a big step to take. But I can see that your partner, they they have been in maybe an isolation period here. Maybe they're a lot more quiet with you here, or they're spending a lot more time with themselves, and this is something that this is a specific message I'm picking up here, because of how quiet it is after death happens. And like, I mean it in a sense where just everything goes silent, and it just seems like your partner may be taking time to themselves to kind of just factor in everything that comes with this transformation. Let me go ahead and get into your tarot. Also, like I said in the intro, I pulled 3 lesson cards, so I'll get into those after. So your first tarot card is the Queen of Pentacles. Your second is the Nine of Wands. Your third is the Six of Cups. Your fourth is the Two of Cups. Your fifth is the Seven of Cups. And then your sixth is the Eight of Cups. Wands. I'm sorry, not Eight of Cups. Eight of Wands. Okay, so there is Pentacle, Wand, Cup, Wand. So there's a lot of water. Water trumps this connection. So there's a lot of emotion and depth to this connection for sure. I think that your partner or whoever you're asking about, I'm sorry, I keep saying partner, but I know that typically with like these kind of connections, we all go for the partner or whoever it is. But either way, I think that your partner. Now, I want to go back to what I was saying about the isolation here, where I felt like maybe they may be isolating from some of you, or maybe pulling back a little, a lot more quiet, because they're contemplating this. But I do feel like your partner, or whoever this is, truly, truly loves you. I feel like they would do damn near anything for you. And there's a lot of love and comfort and warmth in this, and growth and just expansion. Like, I think that starting out here with this Queen of Pentacles is like a nurturer, homebody. She's very earthy and in tune with her emotions, very practical. And but then for it to jump to this Nine of Wands here, I feel like this may be you and your partner. Like the Nine of Wands energy is giving me like their energy where they're trying to put the pieces together on where this is going. They may even come off a bit defensive at times, but with this Six of Cups, I feel like all they want to do is just give you their all, and it's not even a matter of them being upset with you. It's just that they have this way that they feel like life should go, and they're not surrendering to, because this fork in the road is here. They may be a bit undecisive, and it's just like they're trying to find ways to make this transformation fit into the life that they already have with you, but it's literally not possible. So they're going to have to surrender at some point. This Two of Cups energy is very, I feel like you light each other up in a way that nobody else can. I feel like they feel like you light them up in a way that nobody else can. I feel like you teach them things that nobody else can teach them. You bring a sense of calm to them and clarity to them. That's why I say, going back to this Queen of Pentacles energy, you may have a way of calming them down when things just don't make sense to them. And they may have like they may come to these fork in the road moments. They might have these fork in the road moments a lot. Not just with dealing with you, but just in life. With this Seven of Cups energy, it's just giving me like, they may not be used to making decisions, big decisions on their own. They may be used to having it maybe just happen for them, or not even happen, but just, it just kind of, they feel like they've been making their own way, but in reality, this is a connection that has divinity to it, and it's God ordained. It feels like it was set up by God to be orchestrated in the way that it is. And with this Eight of Wands here, I feel like they're going to soon see that as soon as they make this decision, because this is the last card, but as soon as they make this fork in the road, this decision to surrender to death and choose which way they're going to go with the fork in the road, I believe that this Eight of Wands is going to be the relationship just taking off, and it'll be limitless almost. Like, once they are able to, because the Eight of Wands energy is so fast. It just seems like I said, with this Nine of Wands, they just want to do everything for you. And once they make the decision, then I feel like it will happen. But overall, I do feel like they see this connection as a strong one. It's one they've never been in before. They couldn't even fathom, like, they would have never seen this for themselves. And I feel like you give them a sense of peace and clarity and love that they have never seen from anyone or experienced from anyone, that, and family included. I can see that, family included, because that the Nine of Wands is literally the only one that looks stressed out, and everything else is just so peaceful. I feel like they're at peace when they're with you. They want to build a family with you. They want to chill, like just relax and just do everything with you. With this Seven of Cups here, they want to do it all with you, even when they get lost in the moment and they're like, oh, I want to, go that way or go this way or do this or do that. I feel like it'll all happen. It just has to be ordered in steps, and they're not maybe not understanding that, because they're just so excited to be with you. But let me look in your lessons. The lessons that they're learning through this connection would be forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. Forgiveness. blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. And abundance. I am limitless. I am a limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. So, yes, these are perfect for what this relationship feels like. Even looking at these cards, I feel like they have learned so much from you. You have taught them what love really is, and I think it scares them because they never saw it coming. Um, so I think that this is probably, I haven't even gotten to the other piles. I wonder what they're going to be like, but this one in particular just feels so refreshing and so, but I will say this, and it's not a bad thing. I just want to say, if they are being quiet or distant at this time, I think it's important to continue to trust that God will work it out for you, and know that things will pick back up in the way that they're supposed to. If they're not, that's just for those who feel like maybe their partner is giving like mixed signals, because the death card, a transformation can, you will sometimes go back and forth like, oh my goodness, am I really about to do this, or are we really about to do this, whatever the case may be. And I think it's important to just be that Queen of Pentacles energy here, and just continue to be reassuring and be as calming and nurturing as you possibly can with this situation. I'm not saying like if they pull completely away, like they don't want to do it at all, like they just back out. No, we don't want that. We're not doing that. But I don't feel that from this at all. I feel like if they continue to stay in this Nine of Wands energy where they're racking their brain trying to figure things out, but I feel like you guys have a healthy balance with each other, and you know how to bring that back down. You know how to balance it out. You are the balancer in this. And that's not to say you are to take on more than you can. Don't emotionally bind yourself, put yourself in a bind where you feel like, oh, I'm doing everything. But I'm just saying, your qualities and their qualities, they have this ambition and like this drive to them. And the determination that in the hard work and the dedication that comes with this Nine of Wands energy, like you're literally protecting everything you have. It comes after the Eight of Wands, so they're probably maybe thinking a bit further ahead. But it's like, if you were to just take baby steps and calm your mind, like just don't think Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands will come. And this is for your partner. Eight of Wands energy will come. You don't have to force it. And I feel like maybe they are at a point where they're like, okay, if I'm gonna do this, it has to be this way. And they need to understand that it won't always be the way that they want it to be, even if their intention is good. And I think it's important that it doesn't seem like from these cards that they're not open to excuse me, to different possibilities with the Seven of Cups. It just seems like they're focused on maybe too many at a time. Just stick with one and go from there. Take the leap. I think that it would be beneficial for your partner to take the leap and then see where it goes from there. But they don't view this connection in a way where it's bad. They're just scared. And love can be scary. Not in a bad way, but just in a way where it's like, oh my goodness, like I just never thought, So I think it's important for you to be patient with your partner, as you already are, I'm sure, and know that, for you both to know that everything is going to play out in the way that it's supposed to. And yeah. So, Pile 1, I thank you so much for being here, and I pray this resonates with you. If it does, please let me know down in the comments. Like and subscribe. You can also book a personal session with me at my website, www.theangelicmuse.com. And you can follow me on Instagram if you want, at theangelicmuse as well. So So I thank you so much for being here, and I pray you enjoy the rest of your day or night. Hey, Pal 2. So if you chose the Tiger's Eye for your reading, here we go. So I'm going to start out with the Oracle and Major Arcana that I pulled for you to represent the theme and the overall connection. And then I'm going to get into your tarot and then the lessons that are being learned from this connection. So to start out, your Major Arcana theme is the Devil, represented by the number 15. And then your Oracle says co-create, represented by the number 40. So, and I wouldn't be alarmed by this or anything. It's just that with this Devil card in particular, there are not two people in it. If you look, there are, like in this deck, they drew it so that there's a bunch of people at the bottom. And they're just drinking, they're smoking, they all have chains on, they're kissing and like doing all types of shit, grabbing on each other's faces. Oh my gosh, they're doing the most. I never really actually looked at that card to see what they were doing, but they're going in. But let's get back to you. I just wanted to describe that to you because it's more than two people. It seems like with this connection, maybe there are outside influences inside of it that shouldn't be. Maybe friends, family, just maybe scrolling on social media too much. It's just being in such a dark place. Maybe certain addictions are in the way of this connection. It just seems very dark here on one end. And then with this co-create card, co-creation is just like conspiring with God, conspiring with the universe in order to get something done. So maybe for some of you, and I know this is so weird, but with the Devil on co-create, maybe someone is just really freaky. Like they just like they like experimenting and doing crazy things with you. Maybe you both enjoy doing wild things together. I'm not judging, but that just stuck out to me with the Devil and co-create. But it just reminded me of like procreate, like just having children. But I think that with this card, for those that are in those darker energies where it's like you're feeling kind of lost, this connection feels very lost. And that's partly because either one or both of you is not understanding that your thoughts, it starts in the mind. Like whatever you manifest, it's in part due to your thoughts, in part due to your action, but it's still you. Like you can't escape from the darker parts of this relationship. So like it seems like maybe right now you both are in a place, or maybe they're in a place where it could be the both of you, but maybe more so them. They're in a place where they're like, this connection is showing me parts of myself that I wasn't aware of, and they may not be the best parts. And that's not to say that they're a bad person. It's just to say we all are human, we all are flawed, and we all need work of some sort. Not to say we have to always be on this healing journey, but you know, when you're with a person and you're connecting with them, no matter what kind of relationship this is, you do have to understand that there will be barriers at times that need to be broken through. And I think that right now your partner may be either in this darker moment where they're not realizing that, or they are. I'm going to get into that once I get into the tarot to see exactly. But the feeling I'm getting from it is that they may be well aware of the cause and effect. Like the fact that like, okay, I did this, so this is going to come. This was the result of that. You know, and maybe they do things hastily with this cheetah here. Cheetah's like the fastest, and one of the fastest. I don't know if it's the fastest, but it's a pretty fast animal. And maybe they are hasty and just rash in their decision making, or they are not led by, they don't really have as strong of a connection as you do to God or the universe or your higher source, whatever you want to call it. But they're noticing this. And I'm going to read the oracle message from this co-create card just before I get into the tarot, but I think it goes without saying that they're very much aware that something, whether good or bad, is going to come from this, and they're making decisions based off of ego as opposed to the heart or the intuition or even what's logical at this point. Let me read this oracle message for you. It says, co-create essential meanings: creativity, art, inspiration, fruition, and manifestation. The oracle's message is, you may not consider yourself a creative person, but in fact you are creating your reality every moment of every day via your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, intentions, and actions. Yet you must consider that you do so in partnership with spirit, consciousness, God, or whatever name you call your higher power. You are a spark of this intelligence that works through you, nudging you with inspired thought and intuitive guidance. You are a paintbrush that co-creates a beautiful, unique expression of your own individuality, blended with universal spirit. You are a product of divine inspiration, and now you're aligned with it to create miracles. When you view your life as art and you know you co-created it, only beauty and grace result. Prepare to be amazed. So I feel like with that explanation, maybe the reason why your partner operates in ego or in these darker energies, it doesn't really maybe even see the fullest potential of this relationship, is because they're not ready to. Because they feel like maybe you're better than them in a sense, and you're not. Nobody's better than the other. It's just a matter of what you tell yourself. And I feel like with this devil card representing the overall theme, there may be some sort of codependency here where they kind of cling to you because they feel like you have a great light and they know where it's going to lead you. That's not to say they're using you. It's just to say they see your light, and maybe they admire that part of you and they don't say it. Maybe this, instead they just kind of cling versus telling you why, where you could potentially help them to elevate themselves in that way, but they just choose not to see it, it feels like here. Let me get into your tarot. So lessons. So for your first tarot card, you have the Queen of Swords. Your second one is the Ace of Cups. Your third one is the Six of Wands in reverse. Your fourth is the Nine of Cups. Your fifth is the Three of Cups. And then your sixth is the Seven of Wands. Yeah, so going back to what I was saying about this codependency or this feeling less than, and I feel that your partner what your partner does is they know they want you. They know they want to build with you. But this lack of confidence here in the Six of Wands reverse, and then the Seven of Wands, the defensiveness that I feel coming out of them, and then the Three of Cups here is like their minds, this connection for them is maybe not as serious for them as it may be for you. And I don't say that where it's anything wrong with you. I just feel like the love is there, the desire, with this Ace of Cups, there's like an overflow, but there's like this unwillingness to do better here too. There's this unwillingness to change and to be comfortable and to just continue on in the way that things have been. And it just seems like here you're not in that direction. You're not going in that direction where you want things to stay the same. You, with this Queen of Swords energy, Queen of Swords is very she's logical. She knows her feelings, but she's not here for her feelings. Like she's just straight down to business, and not even in a mean way. If this was reversed, then I could say that, like, but it's upright, and it's someone who has their head on their shoulders, who is like ready to take on the world. Really, like she got this small ass knife in her hand, and she's still ready to do whatever with it. Like the other, I mean that. That'll probably hurt somebody, but I'm just saying, compared to other decks, that knife is super small, and she's still ready to do things. So, and then this Ace of Cups, I think that maybe there's codependency on both ends. Maybe because you know your potential and you know your worth and you know everything that comes with you, but I think that if this is like a relationship that, if you're just attracted to emotionally unavailable people, or people who need help, or people who need to be saved, then that would explain why this dynamic is the way it is. I feel like your partner gets maybe defensive when you bring up what it is that they, well, like you might suggest things like, okay, hey, let's do it this way, or let's try this, and they're like, no, we're kind of going to stay the same way we are, and it just seems very stifling in a sense. Like it seems like it's fun until it's not. And again, it's not like, I think you two both want to be with each other, but it may not be for the right reasons. It may be tied to, again, codependency, lack of seeing your own worth in terms of relationships, because you can see your own worth when it comes to work. You're like, oh no, I'm not doing this. Or when it comes to a friend, you're like, oh no, that's not a friend. But with relationships, we tend to I'm not gonna say everybody, but I'm saying we, because it's a collective thing. I've been here before too, and depending on your experience in relationships, it's more difficult for others than it is for some. So I'm just explaining it in a way where it's like, we give our partners a lot more like leeway, and it's not to say that it's wrong, because that's just the way our hearts are set up. But we have to know when to say when. I think it's important to know when to say when, and it's important to know who is for you. And if you have someone here who isn't understanding of the fact that what they do, like, this isn't, it's time to grow up a little and put your big boy, big girl pants on and get things rolling, like, you're going to end up losing out on an amazing opportunity. Like, you can have the same, like, say if you were to stay with them, or they were to stay with you, or whatever this connection is, you stay near each other, whatever. The connection will be there. It's not that there won't be one, but it will not reach its fullest potential if the two people aren't aligned. And I think that sometimes God will put us in these positions where we're like, we have to figure it out for ourselves just to see what we've learned. Again, this is dependent upon how much experience you have in relationships. This could be your first relationship, or your 10th, or your 100th. Doesn't matter. If there's something in there for you to learn, and or for you to get to your right person, then you're going to learn it with the people that aren't you. I feel like you'll learn those lessons with people who aren't meant for you. And then, like, the more important things, the more, the stronger, like you'll learn boundaries with all these other people you date. And then once you reach your final person, then you will move forward. Let me read these lessons. Let me see. Oh, they're upside down. So your first one is gratitude. I'm thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. Second one is happiness. I am aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. And then your third one is judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. So yeah, this just sounds like, okay, so these are the 3 lessons that they were supposed to, or they're learning throughout the relationship. Or that they're supposed to be, because I see a lot of defensiveness here, like, and just like, maybe they're just a slow learner. Let's give them that. So, and there's nothing wrong with being a slow learner. I'm not knocking your person, whoever it is you're asking about. I'm just saying that we learn at different levels. So, I think that with this gratitude card, I'm thankful for this life and the opportunity that it presents. If they're just, the lesson to be learned here is that, and they're stuck in this devil energy where all they want to do is do lower level vibration type stuff or just stay stuck, they won't learn this lesson. But it does say here that they are. So again, it could just be a slow thing. That's for you to decide. Happiness and judgment. Judgment, I can see, like, I think judgment is probably one of the harder things to get over in terms of just life in general, because we kind of look at what people post and what people do and what they say, and we say, oh, well, they must have it all together, and we don't. And, you know, it can become overwhelming to a point. It can become overwhelming, especially in relationships, in the comparisons of relationships. You see people getting married, you see people getting engaged, and all types of things. So it's like when you're just kind of stuck in this rut or this standstill with your connection, or say you're friends and you just keep having these outs, or this is a family member. It's like you have to know when to say when. You have to know when to say when. I can only tell you how they view the connection, which is, it's not like they're not comfortable in it. They are, but that's because they're comfortable. Comfortability in itself, it sounds good, but it's not always good. Sometimes you got to make yourself a little uncomfortable if you want to see the change. You have to feel a little uncomfortable. You might have to even cry about it, get irritated as hell, and just move on from it. But once you're out of it, it's a lot better for you. Not you, your partner, but I mean even you too. But I'm just speaking on this stuck energy here. 6 of Wands, like feeling so defeated and just like, oh, I don't know if I'm ever going to have this or that. You know, you can put as much love as you want into a person, but if they want to continue to do the same things over and over and over again, you would be doing yourself a disservice in mind, heart, and soul. You know, so I think it's worth considering whether or not the way they view this connection is of more importance than the way that you feel. And with this Queen of Swords energy, again, going back to it, she doesn't really factor in her feelings. So maybe that's something that you need to consider if you haven't been. But I mean, I'm assuming since you're here, you are. Or maybe you just are a logical person. I can be pretty logical too. I'm like, okay, so what are the facts? You know, like, do they want to be with me or not? Okay, they do want to be with me. All right, let's work it out. But it's like, no, you know, it's not always. Or do they want to be my friend? Okay, let's work it out. Like, no, because everybody's not worth your time or your energy. And I'm not telling you what to do here, because you know your person better than I do. This is a general reading for the collective, and I simply picked up on what I could. But what I will say is this: don't let nobody play in your face, and don't play in your own face. You know, it's not worth the frustration or the pain that comes with it. If you see that something is stagnant or still, then it's imperative that you nip that in the bud, like right away. There's a lot of green in here too, so maybe focusing on your heart chakra would be beneficial. If you do Reiki, or if you just place your hands over your heart and just get in tune with the way that you feel. Like, know what it is that you want and stick with it. I'm not saying that, again, uncomfortableness. If you're a little uncomfortable in this and it's not really affecting it on a level where it's like, I want to leave. But if you're here and you're feeling stifled and you're feeling stuck and you're feeling stagnant, here's what I will say about relationships. It may be hard at first to walk away from it, but just know that if it's meant for you, it'll come back, and it'll come back better because you left it and you didn't settle. So that's just for those who are feeling like, you know, but again, you do what you want. If you want to stay, then you stay, stick it out, ride or die, you know. But I don't know. Pile 2, this is all I have for you when it comes to this reading on the connection. I pray it resonates with you and it brings you a sense of guidance and peace and understanding on where your partner is. And I thank you so much for being here. If you'd like, you can book a personal session with me on my website at www.theangelicmuse.com. And you can also feel free to follow me over on Instagram if you'd like to connect with me over there at theangelicmuse. But other than that, I thank you so much for being here, and I pray you enjoy the rest of your day tonight. Hey, Pile 3. So if you chose this raw Lapis Lazuli crystal for your reading, here it goes. So I'm going to start out with the major arcana I pulled for the theme, as well as the oracle, and then I'll get into your tarot and the lessons that we had for this connection, or the way your partner or person views this connection. I have been saying partner this whole time, so I'm just hoping that every pile was like, I've probably been trying to switch it. It's just really difficult because this all just seems like intimate. So anyway, for you, your major arcana is the Emperor, represented by the number 4. And then you have Fork in the Road, represented by the number 13. You may have been drawn to pile 1. You don't have to be, but it is pretty interesting because they have the 4 for the Emperor, and then 13, they have the Death card, but it all equals out to 4, which is all about stability, balance, and finding your way. And then this Fork in the Road is like about making a decision. But let me see. So with the Emperor representing the overall theme of the connection, I do feel like your partner feels this is a very stable connection. It's very strong. It's very secure. It's very safe. It's very powerful. I don't think they have any doubts when it comes to you or the relationship. I don't think that they feel like, I feel like they think you are a safe place, and they can be a safe place for you. I think that they may feel like they have to show up a certain way in this connection when it comes to you, like always on point and never messing up. The Emperor is all about structure. It's all about like just, okay, first of all, it's Aries energy. I'll say that. So it's very like forward, very strong, very like out there. And I feel like they would definitely go to the ends of the earth for you. And they feel like you do the same. And no mountain is too high for them. I do feel like this makes me want to cry a little bit, because this is probably, even though I said you might be drawn to pile 1, it could be for other reasons, but this is they're both very refreshing piles, and this one feels very, very safe and secure. But with this Fork in the Road here, going back to that's about making a decision. So maybe they're thinking about all the endless possibilities if the connection can go in. They're thinking about, or they feel like no matter which way you go or which way you both take in life, you'll always have each other. That's just what I'm hearing. You'll always have each other no matter which way you go. And they're very optimistic when it comes to this connection. And they don't want to go anywhere. They don't want to go anywhere. They are very much content and satisfied, and the Emperor just matches the Empress's energy in different ways, but they're partners, and I feel like they just want to be, they're very protective over you, and they just want to be your all. And not in a way where they take over your life, but just whatever ways they can benefit you, I feel like they want to do that. That's what this is giving me. No matter which way we go, I got you type energy. Um, I'm gonna read the fork in the road out of the book here, um, that I had earlier. Let me see if I can get it. And it says, essential meanings: time to make a decision, considering the consequences as you prepare to act, owning up to your obligation to make a necessary choice. And then the oracle's message is, every choice has a consequence. You've arrived at a fork in the road and are being asked to come to a decision. Will you further your dreams by choosing left or by choosing right? Will you take the road less traveled or the one well worn by others whom have come before you? This is your choice and yours alone to make. Circumstances and other people will not make it for you. Be present and do not avoid this junction, for it is an important crossroads. Take heart, as no matter which path you choose, you will have a rich and meaningful experience. So that just, again, goes back to what I was saying. I feel like they're ready to make a bigger commitment to you. This could be anything from marriage to moving in to having a child to making it official. If this is like a talking stage, this could be anything, but I do see a lot of stability in this connection, and I feel like there's a lot of your partner feels like you are very grounding and nurturing to them, like you are the literal, like you cool them off is what I'm saying. Like Emperor Aries energy is very fiery. I feel like you cool them off. But yeah, let me let me get into your tarot. That was pretty short and sweet to the point. So for your first card, you have the Queen of Wands. Your second is the Three of Wands. Your third is the Ace of Cups. Your fourth is the Five of Wands. Your sixth is the your fifth is the Queen of Pentacles, I'm sorry. And then your sixth is the King of Wands. So, maybe both of you are fire signs. I see this Queen of Wands, and there's a lot of wands. Queen of Wands, Three of Wands, Five of Wands, King of Wands. There's a lot going on here. So, maybe you both are fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But like I said, the only thing I'll say here is that if you are fire signs, this Five of Wands would explain that, because not to say you are argumentative, but you both may have this may be like a very explosive relationship, and that is like in the best way possible. I mean, like, granted, Five of Wands is about like conflict, arguing, things of that nature, but I think that the way you two may have disagreements, it's still, there's nothing that can get in the way of that disagreement. You always come back to love. I feel like Queen of Wands energy, it wouldn't be better paired with anything but the King of Wands. Like, they're both, again, going back to the Emperor and the Empress, they're both paired. I feel like your partner feels like you are the peanut butter to their jelly. Really, like, they want to do it all with you. This Three of Wands here, they want to take that next step with you. They're wanting to see what's out there. They may be waiting in like this waiting period, just trying to get the final ends, but at the end of the day, the outcome is this Ace of Cups. Like, this Ace of Cups energy is just spilling over. There's so much love, so much forgiveness, so much devotion, so much just stability in this. Even with the Queen of Pentacles, like, it's just grounding. It's stable energy. It's nurturing. I feel like your partner thinks the highest of you, even in times of disagreements. There's like nothing that can get in the way of this connection to them. They want to do it all with you. And I think that right now you just may be at a point where they're contemplating, okay, are we going to take this next step? Or, you know, or am I going to put my foot down and take the next step? If they're like the more assertive one in the relationship, are they going to make the next move? And you know, I feel like maybe right now you're just in a period where you're waiting to see, because you feel the same way they do. Why are you even here? It's like, I'm just playing. I only say that because it's such a great, like, I feel like, I'm not saying why are you even here in a bad way. I'm saying it because, like, this is so clear. Like, it's so clear. It's inevitable. If your partner doesn't already show you this, then this isn't your reading. Maybe you take these 5 of Wands moments where you are arguing and you wonder to yourself, are they going to affect where this goes long term? Like, is this going to make them not like me? Is this going to turn them away from me because I love them so much? I don't want this to end, type thing. And I'll say this about that. That worry, it may just be there. It may be there forever. Like, I'm not saying forever where it's like, oh, I'm going to be looking over my shoulder wondering, are they going to break up with me? But I think as humans, as people, we kind of just, we just question some weird shit sometimes. And, you know, that's where the partner comes in and assures us, like, no, I'm not going anywhere and we don't have anything to worry about. Like, that kind of thing. So you may just be that kind of like on edge type person. Maybe if there's something that needs to be done on your end as far as not being so, what is the word I'm looking for? So worried. I'll just say worried about where this is going to go. Because like it says in this fork in the road card, regardless of whatever decision your person makes in this, whether they decide to continue on with this connection or let it go, it'll be a win for you either way, because you're an amazing person alone. And I know this reading isn't about you, but I do feel like this isn't just one-sided where they want to take care of you and protect you. I feel like you want the same for them. And I think it's important to pay attention to that over these minor arguments. It's literally the only card in here where shit just goes crazy, but it always comes, it's this Queen of Pentacles energy here right next to it, and this Ace of Cups on the other side of it that kind of balance it out. It's like, okay, we might have this disagreement. We're two totally different people. We have two totally different upbringings. We speak two totally different ways. We learn two totally different things in life. You know, we've come from two totally different backgrounds. And maybe you didn't. Maybe you have come from similar experiences and backgrounds, but there's still, your personalities are different. You still have different circumstances and environments around you still that affect how you are as a person. So I think it's important to embrace each other's differences and not take them to heart. I think it's important to just let the love outshine and outweigh everything else. The love and the forgiveness, and I'm gonna get into your lessons in a minute, but the love and the forgiveness and the, matter of fact, I'm gonna get into them now, because I feel like there's so much that is to be learned through this connection, and you don't want to allow something as small as an argument or like a moment of disagreement to affect such a stronghold, such a strong bond and connection that's here. Whether this is a relationship, friends, whatever, like there's a sure feeling of like stability and protection in it. And it's just like it's almost like soulmate type energy here. And that's if you believe in that kind of thing. But like, it's like you're just, I mean, like forever soulmate type thing. Like there may be things you need to learn with this person and you're not comfortable with it, or they're not comfortable with it. But I think that for them, even in the uncomfortableness, they still want to be with you. Even in the uncomfortableness, they still love you. Even in the uncomfortableness, they're still matching your energy. And it's important to know that whatever relationships we are in, whether platonic, familiar, or romantic, we will mirror each other in ways that are simply there for us to learn from and not to pick apart in a way where it's like, where it turns into a negative, if that makes sense. So, let me get into your lessons. So, you have health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. Death. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. And growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. Yeah, this is definitely giving me like soulmate vibes. Death, growth, and health. Like death, I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. Going back to this fork in the road, you're at a point, or they're at a point where they need to make a decision on something, or they either need to get rid of something or add something in here to the equation. And I feel like it's them being brought to this point that they're in now. It's causing like growth that is confusing. It's causing like, for this health card, I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. Maybe it's causing them to indulge in ways that aren't necessarily beneficial to them. Maybe if they are the type to get stressed out over smaller things, maybe they're doing things like stress eating, smoking, drinking, things of that nature. Doesn't have to be. I just picked that up from this health card when it comes to this 5 of Wands. And depending on your inner workings or your partner's inner workings, they may be prone to things like addiction or codependency in certain situations. So it's important to be mindful of that. But with the death and the growth card, I'm feeling like this is the one. Like this is, excuse me, this is the connection that is going to be a catalyst for the both of you equally. And they feel that, but they want to make sure that it's done. Every step that is taken within this connection is done on stable ground. They don't want to, they may be slower to go when it comes to making moves. But that's what I said. You really may be connected to Power One in a way, but it's just giving me like unsurety. Not of you, not of this connection, but just of self. But it's kind of spills off, and like you may view it as them being unsure of you or the connection when it's not. It's just more so them, but they're very secure. They're very fiery. They're very determined. They're very loving. They're very stable. They're very grounded. So it's like there may just be something about you that triggers them. And again, not in a bad way, but just as like some sort of awakening for them. They weren't expecting it. And it is causing, like even sometimes maybe with this 5 of Wands energy, you find yourself arguing about things or having disagreements about things, but you're literally mirroring each other, or you have the same goal in mind, but just different ways of going about it. That's literally like it's like a very minor 5 of Wands energy here. Everything else outweighs it. So the way they view the connection as a whole is, it has nothing to do with this. They're very sure of you, like I said. They want to grow with you. They want to build with you, protect you, love on you. do everything for you, and they want to see you reach your fullest potential. They want to see you in your rightful element and energy too. You know, they want that for the both of you. And regardless of the minor things that may get in between it, I think it's important that you, since you're here with me, you are mindful of your part in it. I know this isn't about you, but just be patient with each other, no matter what kind of connection this is, and just know that everything is done with good intentions. It's not really like a malicious thing. You know, you may see them do something and you're like, I don't like that. And or they may see you do something, I don't like that. But at the end of the day, you were just trying to do what they wanted you to do, or they would have liked, but just in your own way, and vice versa. But the goal is still the same, if that makes sense. So just try to, if you can, the pettiness that I feel from this Five of Wands energy with the arguments and stuff, everything doesn't need to be an argument. Everything doesn't even need to be spoken about, really. Some things do need to be let go, and I think that comes with growing, expanding your awareness and being understanding of the fact that you are with your partner and your partner's with you, and y'all are in this together. It's not really like a combative thing, if that makes sense. But yeah, I definitely feel like your partner wants to see this thing through, or your connection, whoever this is you're asking about, wants to see this thing through to the end with you. Whether it be friendships or romantic. But Pile 3, I thank you so much for being here with me, and I pray this resonates with you. If it does, please let me know down in the comments. Like and subscribe. I love when you guys do that. But yeah, just let me know. You can book a personal session with me if you want over at my website, www.theangelicmuse.com, and you can follow me over on Instagram if you want, at theangelicmuse as well. But I thank you so much for being here, and I pray you enjoy the rest of your day or night.